We must have heard stories about someone who inadvertently entered another dimension. However, there is an even stranger story. It's someone living in another world that suddenly enters our world. If around the universe we live, there are other invisible universes, it's not like someone would be able to enter one of those universes because of some incident. If this happens, he may find himself in another world that may never return to this one again. There were many strange cases of disappearances, as if they had disappeared into the air. Had these people entered a parallel universe? Scientists are trying to find solid evidence to support the multiverse theory. Not long ago, physicists said they were investing in a project in space that could provide evidence of parallel universes, while scientists are continuing their search for other dimensions and universes. We may come across strange instances of some unfortunate people entering another world that we cannot see. However, there is an even stranger and more unusual story of someone living in another world, suddenly entering our world. For them and their universe, then our world would be a parallel universe, which is exactly what happened to Lenia Barcha, a Spanish woman who suddenly felt everything around her was problematic. Her story was so bizarre that it took a while for many people to take it seriously. It was easy to ignore her story as a ridiculous story. But what if it's true? Could she really be a guest from another world? Did she fall into our universe due to some incident? It all started when she would wake up in her apartment one morning. It seemed like another ordinary day, but she noticed something odd. She did not recognize the bedsheet she had just slept on. She didn't think much about it either. But soon she saw that there was something wrong with the things around her. Her apartment looks the same, but some items don't seem to be in the right place, as if they don't belong here. Some of the items in her apartment were missing, while some of the things she had never seen before were the most shocking discovery. Her boyfriend was gone. He left her. Where did he go? At first, Lenia thought her boyfriend was missing. However, the truth is even more terrifying. She looked for his phone number, but couldn't find it. She asked her friends about him, but no one knew who she was talking about. She contacted the police and reported her boyfriend missing, but police said there was no record of who she was looking for. Lenia couldn't understand what was going on, even though she was convinced she was lucid. She went to a psychiatrist. This doctor said she was hallucinating because of stress. Lenia disagreed with that. She was convinced that something serious had happened. When Lenia visited her family to talk about her sister, but her parents said that the incident she mentioned had never happened. For example, her family doesn't remember her sister, who had shoulder surgery a few months ago. When Lenia asked her sister, she said she had never undergone any surgery. There were a lot of strange things around, as if she was talking about the events that she had experienced in a different life, from another world. Lenia went to work, and even while there, her life changed in ways she could never have imagined. She still works for the same company, but in a different department. In a different area of the building, she felt disoriented at work. So she found her boss to tell her she wasn't feeling well and asked to go home. However, it took Lenia a while to find her boss, as it was someone she had never met. And even though he said he knew her very well, Lenia finds she still has the same driver's license and ID. But a lot of things in her life go wrong. She remembered the events that everyone thought had never happened. The boyfriend she knew so well never existed. The objects in the old apartment were quite strange to her. Lenia has never been diagnosed with a mental illness. She's also not a drug user or an alcoholic. She was simply an ordinary woman who told the world her story. But very few people believed her. Lenia was still looking for clues about this. She assumed that she had fallen into another universe, which was a little different from her home universe. Now Lenia has accepted her fate. and the possibility that she will be trapped in this world and never be able to return home again. There are many people who think that Lenia is crazy, that she is paranoid, that there is no second universe in this world, but scientists have discovered a mysterious cold spot in space that could prove our universe is just one of an infinite number of universes in existence at the same time. Many scientists believe that our observable universe, although extremely large, is only a very small part of the sea of the universe that we cannot observe. Scientists think that there are parallel universes that exist alongside us. Theoretically, in some parallel universe, there could be copies of the galaxy, copies of the solar system, copies of the Earth, and copies of ourselves that inspired future sci-fi filmmakers. There are 4 types of parallel universes. If the parallel universe is level 1, the universes are in the same space, but outside the observed range. And level 2 parallel universes exist in cosmic bubbles isolated from our cosmic reservoirs that are thought to be at great distances. The level 3 parallel universe is extremely close to us, according to scientists. The space we live and feel only has 4 dimensions, 3 directions and time. But space can be up to 11 dimensions. So there are universes in the 5th or 6th dimension that we cannot feel even if they are close to us, just a few millimeters away. Recently, scientists have discovered a cold spot in space that could prove our universe is just one of an infinite number of universes that are coexisting at the same time. The cold spot is a 13 billion year old space, measuring 1.8 billion light years, and the temperature is 0.00015 degrees Celsius, colder than the surrounding space. And according to scientists, this cold spot may be the first evidence of the existence of a multiverse, although the temperature is not much lower. When it spreads out over a large area of space, astronomers cannot explain the cause of this huge space. Some scientists think that this cold spot could very well be the point of intersection between our universe and another universe. And if this argument is correct, we will always be able to prove the multiverse theory. The cold spot is like a rub between 2 giant objects that are 2 universes. If the above assertion is true, the cold point indicates that our vast universe contains an infinite number of parallel universes. The theory is not a subject of science fiction. As astronomer Dr. Stuart Clark wrote in The Guardian, these innumerable worlds exist side by side in larger dimensions that our senses cannot perceive. Each of those universes contains different versions of things. The existence of another parallel universe will change people's view of reality with this universe, and even with ourselves, knowing that another entity like us is also having a life of their own. Long ago, the astronomer Copernicus said that the Earth was not the center of the universe. Hubble teaches us that the Sun is also not the center of the universe, but simply a fireball in a galaxy, in billions of other galaxies. If the cosmic digging system exists, then the universe in which we live will no longer be special and unique.